I missed you all. Barely managed for the last 14 minutes. Yitzchak, did you want to ask? You think your question is short? You want to do it now?
I don't know if it's short. It's I guess so real quick. Tell me if it's a long answer. It's
fine.
The question was, so you said according to the effort is the reward, and if according to the effort is the reward, then today, for example, you have it's getting easier and easier to help, through different channels, through it's like since the era of the internet, it's like it's much easier to reach people and help them connect to Hashem, and through organizing all types of events and by reaching people. It's become much easier, and it's before you have to chase the person and everything, and now it's like, I don't know, like I've had a case where I sent one video to somebody and I got a message a year later saying this has changed my life and I'm taking this and this and this and this and this on. I was like, what? So this is like one case, and it's like, but I didn't do any effort. I didn't do any effort, and this is just one. It's like, so it's like that you say one person, and it's like you say Rabbi Vadia speaks about it in extreme terms of how great it is, but like at the same token, it's the effort is the reward. So
right,
where is that? Where does that come in?
Yeah, correct. You get less reward. I'm agreeing with you.
So
I'm gonna bring out the Gemara. We're on the bottom of Yud Beis Amud Aleph. If you want to resume this, we can, but let's pick up the Gemara since that's our defined project here. We're on Yud Beis Amud Aleph, the bottom Mishnah. The Mishnah, we're talking about, of course, the Gvulos, the boundaries of the Ir Miklat, and now we're getting into a very technical aspect of those boundaries as follows. Ilan Shu, anybody not have the place?
Yeah, Rabbi, what line are we on?
It's the Mishnah. Mishnah is always begins with the enlarged bold-faced letters Masni, which is abbreviation for Masnisi in our Mishnah. In this case, it's near the bottom of the page. It's 9 lines from the bottom. It's only about 3 lines. Yud Beis Amud Aleph.
Yud Beis Amud
Aleph. Ilan Shu Omed Besoch HaTchum. Okay, we've already said that if he goes outside the tchum, he's fair game for the Gol Adam, and some would even say for another person too. Fine. So they got a tree that's standing inside the tchum of the Ir Miklat. It's interesting in halacha, lots of discussion of trees. Trees overhanging from a cemetery is another sugya. Lots of different issues with trees. Right? What do we say? V'nofo noteh chutz l'tchum. So the tree now is inside the Ir Miklat. V'nof, which is translated sometimes as foliage, sometimes as branches. The tree, the stuff, not the trunk of the tree.
Which line?
We're in the Mishnah. Just started the Mishnah at near the very bottom of Yud Beis Amud Aleph. Ilan Shu Omed Besoch HaTchum. So the tree, the trunk of the tree, in other words, is inside the boundaries. The nof is outside, and then we say omed chutz l'tchum, or alternately, the tree is outside the tchum. V'nofo note besoch l'tchum, but all the foliage, all the leaves and the trees and the branches are all inside the city. In either scenario, the punchline is Hakol Olech Achar Hanof. Everything is defined. Everything goes literally after the branches, after the foliage. In other words, so that if they are climbing the tree, because people do such things, if they're climbing the tree and he's on the trunk, not on the branches, and the branches are outside the tchum, even if the trunk of the tree is inside the tchum, inside the boundaries, and therefore it seems like he hasn't gone outside, doesn't matter, it goes after the branches, and he's fair game, and the Gol Adam can kill him.
Rabbi,
the opposite...
Is this like a Kohen, a cemetery? Like a Kohen goes to a cemetery, he can't be under a tree that
even outside a cemetery, because the tree, as it were, is extending the tumah.
Right. So similar to that.
Similar. Excellent connection. Right. Right. So in this case, we're saying we're going to see a different opinion on this, but at least for our Mishnah, it's going to be very clear. It all depends on where the branches are. If the branches are outside the city, the whole tree is considered outside the city, and he's fair game even if he's on the trunk inside the tchum. The Gol Adam can kill him. But on the other side, if the branches are inside the city, even and the trunk is outside, and he's on the trunk, so formally he's outside the city. Well, the Gol Adam can't touch him because it all goes after the branches, the foliage of the tree. What we're going to call. Can I now, from now on, start using the terms the nof? The nof is what we call the branches of the foliage. That's what we're talking about. That's the clear determinant. Okay, well that's nice. The Gemara is going to go on and say, got a big contradiction for you. The contradiction comes Vromini. We have a contradiction from another source, in this case, Mishnah. Actually, a question about it. It's a Mishnah, Brisa, but let's call it a Mishnah in Meiser Sheni. Meiser Sheni is really a collection of Brisas, but okay. Meiser Sheni, I'll remind you of the different tithes. You got your Truma Gedola, that goes to the Kohen. Afterwards, you have your Meiser Rishon, that goes to the Levi. You take your Trumas Meiser from the Meiser Rishon, also for the Kohen. Then another separate tenth of the produce is, it depends. If it's in the first, second, fourth, or fifth year of the Shemitah cycle, it's Meiser Sheni. If it's the third or sixth year of the Shemitah cycle, it's Meiser Ani, goes to poor people. And if it's the seventh year, that's Shemitah. That's coming in a year and a few months from now. So far, so good. This is a review for everybody, or this is helpful. You know these ideas. Meiser Sheni has to be eaten in Yerushalayim. Alternately, you could redeem it and then take the money to Yerushalayim and buy some meat there and eat it in Yerushalayim. That's Meiser Sheni. There are two things you'll need to know background for the Meiser Sheni that we're discussing here, and that is, A, what are the boundaries of Yerushalayim for eating? Meaning you have to eat it in Yerushalayim. Well, it all depends what's considered the border and what's the boundary. And B, you can only redeem the holiness, the Kedusha, from the Meiser Sheni produce outside of Yerushalayim. It's another catch. Okay, so there are two we have to worry about. Okay, well, where's he redeeming the money? If he's inside, outside, that's actually going to be important. Here's what we're calling a Mishnah of Ramini. At the very beginning of the Gemara now. Ilan shuhu omeid bifnim. If you have a tree that's inside the walls of Yerushalayim, v'nota lachutz, and the branches are leaning outside the walls of Yerushalayim, o omed b'chutz, or alternately the trunk, is standing outside the walls of Yerushalayim, v'nota lifnim, and all the branches, the nof, is inclining inside the city. We're going to say mikineged achoma v'lifnim kilifnim. The part that's located from the wall and inside, the part of the tree, in other words, that's from the inside of the city, from the wall and inside, counts as if it's inside the city. And conversely, mikineged achoma v'lachutz kalachutz, the part that corresponds to the wall and outside is like it's outside. So this is not like our Mishnah. It directly contradicts our Mishnah. We've basically bifurcated the tree, right? It all depends actually where you technically are. There's a logic to this too, right? Because inside is inside, outside is outside. The tree doesn't affect that. So whatever part of the tree you're on depends. If you're inside the city, you're inside, outside, outside. Our Mishnah, to remind you, our Mishnah said, no, it's not like that at all. It's all defined by the location of the nof. The nof is inside, the whole thing is inside. If the nof is outside, it's as if the whole thing is outside. Contradiction. Kasha.
Oh, no. Just got to the game.
What's that? Somebody say something? Okay. Okay, here's the initial attempt to answer the question. I noted I'm saying initial attempt because we're gonna retract this. The We say like this, Meiser. By the way, Eitan, I appreciate you wearing a mask. Very considerate of all of us. Thank you. Meiser Ari Miklat Karamis. It's a very Jewish Gemara, this Gemara, because it's like it's answering a question with a question. And I'm convinced it's with a Yiddish accent. What? You're gonna bring a kasha from Meiser Rishon. You're gonna bring a kasha on the Ari Miklat. You call that a kasha? No. What the words break down as literally is Meiser from Meiser on Ari Miklat. You're gonna bring up. You're gonna compare two unlike cases. I mean, don't compare them. This one is this way for one reason, and that one is the other way for another reason. They're neither apples and oranges. What do you drink up? As follows: Meiser b'choma tala rachmana. With regards to the Meiser Sheni, Hashem makes it all dependent on the wall. If you're from the wall in, good. On the wall out, no good. It's all about the wall. Pink Floyd notwithstanding. Because in Yerushalayim with Meiser, it's all about being in Yerushalayim. The pasuk that teaches us in Dvarim, it says, "Lifnei Hashem Elokecha tochlenu." You should eat it before Hashem. What's before Hashem? Yerushalayim. How do you tell Yerushalayim? The wall. The wall literally defines the place. So great. So of course it all depends on, are you inside or outside by the wall? And that's why our Mishnah in Meiser Sheni is all about the wall. Ari Miklat, in contrast, Bidira Tala Rachmana. It's all about, in the Ari Miklat, it's all about living. Dira, where you live. Right? And that's why, since you could live on the foliage, the branches of the tree. Anybody build a tree house when they were little? How about when they're big? Okay, so it's all about where you live. You don't build a tree house really comfortably on a trunk. You can kind of cling to a trunk, but you can't live there very comfortably. You could, however, live in the foliage. You could live up there in the nof. And that's why in our Mishnah, it's all about, hi Moshe, we're on the bottom of Yud Beis. We just did the Mishnah. Now we're into the Gemara, and you'll go back and catch up. You'll listen to the beginning of this. It's being recorded. So again, Nachamol, the bright. It's not a contradiction. We're talking about two different things. With Meiser Sheni, it's all about being in Yerushalayim, Lifnei Hashem, before Hashem. So then it's all about the wall, and everything inside is in, everything outside out. With our issue, it's all about living. Right, the pasuk emphasizes that aspect. Ki be'ir miklato yeshev. We have coming up in Bamidbar. It's going to say this because he'll dwell in the ir miklat. It's all about where you're going to live, right? And since you can live in the nof, that's what's going to define it. Wherever the nof is, the rest of the tree follows accordingly. Good, great. Now we seem to have answered the contradiction, but now the Gemara is going to make more trouble from another Mishnah in Meiser Sheni as follows: V'rami Meiser a Meiser, and now we're going to bring up Meiser against Meiser. V'rami Meiser a Meiser. We're going to bring up a Meiser against Meiser as follows. We're near the bottom of the page. Disani, as we see in a Mishnah, in Maisros, it's a different Masechta, and it says, "B'Yushalayim halech achar hanof." In Yerushalayim, it all goes after not the wall, contradiction. It says after the nof, after the branches and the foliage. But Ari Miklat also halech achar hanof. It also goes after the branches. So this Mishnah is totally consistent with our Mishnah about the Miklat, great, and it totally contradicts the Mishnah that we learned initially in Meiser Sheni. How do we reconcile these two things? right? So the Gemara now is going to go back and basically give a new teirutz, a new explanation, and actually this will work to solve our first problem, and it's going to be a little bit more effective to solve the first problem between our Mishnah and the Mishnah Meister Sheni as follows. Amar Rav Kahana, the last line of the Gemara. Amar Rav Kahana, Lokasha, not difficult, Ha Rav Yehuda, Ha Rebbe Yehuda, V'ha Rabbanan. Now, this one, the Mishnah that we just read in Maestros, and of course it's consistent with our Mishnah too here in Makkos, is consistent with the view of Rabbi Yehuda, which we're about to learn. And the other one is the position of Rabbanan. Essentially, what we're saying is that this is a machlokus. It's a well-known machlokus, apparently, between Rabbi Yehuda and Rabbanan, and one Mishnah follows one view, and the other Mishnayos follow the other view. And that's how this works. This Sanya, as we learn this time in a brisa, turn the page. Rabbi Yehuda Omer b'ma'ara holech achar pitcha be'ilan holech achar nofo. When it comes, this is the first point, is not our topic, but while we're learning, why not learn something new? When it comes to a cave, we go by the location of the opening of the cave. So this is relevant to the case of Meister Sheni. They're caves. There could be a cave, meaning a place underground. Picture, for example, Tzidkiyahu's tunnel, the one that's immediately east of Damascus Gate, right there. Anybody been there? Some of us went together. Ari, Nathan, did our Shiur go to Tzidkiyahu's tunnels right near Shar Shechem?
Yeah. Yeah, I think
I
so.
have a memory that maybe we did, maybe not.
I remember you took us to the Klanic Hotel.
Okay.
I remember you took
Anyway,
us...
that's a cave.
Yeah.
And picture that cave when we're discussing this now, like would that be considered within the bounds of Yerushalayim or not? Right? So it all depends on the opening. If the opening of the cave is open into Yerushalayim, then it's Yerushalayim. If it's to the outside, it's outside. Evidently, it's outside. Based on today's walls, which are not the only walls of Yerushalayim, but okay. Ilan holech achar nofo. But when it comes to a tree, it's all about the nof, and that's Rabbi Yehuda, and that's consistent with the second Mishnah that we saw in Maestros, and it's consistent with our Mishnah. And there's a Rabbanon view that we're assuming, since Rabbi Yehuda says his piece here, we presume there's another view of Rabbanon who holds otherwise, and that's going to explain the first Mishnah that we saw in this Gemara, that says it's all about the location and the wall of the city, and that the Gemara is going to accept as an answer.
He said tunnels go after the wall and trees go after the branches.
The cave, the ma'ara, which I guess you could see as a tunnel too, goes after the opening. If the opening is outside the city, then the whole thing is outside the city. If the opening is inside the city, then the whole thing is inside the city, even if underground it actually extends considerably outside the city. There is an issue, the Gemara goes on, but this is a whole unit in itself. I think probably we're at a good breaking point, so we'll pick this one up as Rosh Hashem tomorrow. We turn the page. Questions?
Yeah, Rabbi.
Sarcastic remarks?
No, Rabbi, could you go over the Mishnah one more time?
Sure. Happy to do so, especially now that Yossi Goldstone's here. Wow. Blast from the past. Hi, Yossi Goldstone. Nice to have you here. Hi, welcome. Great to have you. We're on Yud Beis Amud Aleph, near the bottom. It's whatever it is, 9 lines from the very bottom, and we learn in the Mishnah. We're all defining where the boundaries are for the city, especially for our jokester Rotseach, who's playing games with the Goel Adam, and he's saying, "Catch me now!" Ha! And he's like jumping back and forth inside and outside the city. Well, what if he's standing on a tree? The Mishnah wants to know. If the tree is standing inside the boundaries of the city of refuge, but the branches are outside, Conversely, omed chutz l'tchum, but the trunk is outside. V'nofel note b'tzoch hatchum, but the branches are actually inclining inside the city. Well, the punchline is akol holech achar hanof. It's defined by the branches, the foliage, the leaves on the tree, and all that stuff up on top of the tree. And even if he's, let's say, if that tree is outside the city and he's inside the city on the trunk, it's as if he's outside the city. And the opposite's also true. This is important. You'll probably want to sharpen this and get this down so that when we pick up the Gemara, because this is all background, and Gemara is going to pick up from there, and I'm not reviewing. So that's up to you to stay on top of this and stay sharp on this so you understand what will flow tomorrow. Any other questions?
Does this affect property laws?
Usually in property laws, that's more of a Baba Basra kind of a shaila. And property laws, a lot more depends on what's the common culture, what's assumed. So there's a lot of depth, a lot of discussion about when you buy certain fields, what does that include? What does it not include? And the big sugi is all about these topics. So no, it's not quite parallel. A lot of that is just more what's accepted culturally, which actually is the way the halacha comes down too. If you're functioning in a certain financial culture, then you assume, well, this is what, nobody really, they split the difference on the small things and other kinds of personal kinds of, cultural accepted norms. Great. Okay, good to see everybody. Anybody have anything they want to talk about now that we're all here? Anybody want to stay after and talk about anything?
Yeah, me.
Okay.
What's up? What's up, Maisha Max?
What up, Yos?